The purpose of this resource is to provide guidance for utilizing scaffolds that are embedded in your EL Education District curriculum. Scaffolding is an instructional method that progressively moves students toward greater independence and understanding during the learning process. It's a temporary support that acknowledges what students already know, the barriers they will face in achieving new goals, and the instructional support that will benefit them in negotiating those barriers. Throughout this learning opportunity, we'll focus on examples of scaffolds that already exist within the EL education lessons using Lesson 4 from Grade 5, Module 1, Unit 2. An EL Education Scaffold Overview document for elementary ELA grades 2 through 5 can be found in Learning Central under the appendix within each grade level module and in the teacher planning tools for your grade level curriculum. Please refer to this document for additional supports as you plan. The lesson components listed on this slide are where you can locate embedded scaffolds within lessons and will be highlighted throughout this presentation. In this lesson, students will listen to the read aloud and follow along silently to the chapter Las Papas. They will then analyze how the chapter fits into the overall structure of the text and make connections between the chapter and the UDHR, as well as interpret metaphors about Abuelita's blanket. Remember scaffolds from past lessons. Some students may have their own organizer for the structure of a story and add to it, and it's a good idea to have a symbol for the word connections. Many students may need additional support interpreting the metaphors. Consider grouping students who need additional support with this in one group to receive teacher support. You may also want to prepare some simple metaphors ahead of time in language that is familiar to the students. Each lesson provides a section of supports for English language learners, but teachers should read these notes as the strategies may be helpful to all students. Additional scaffolds to note are: ask students to paraphrase key points of the pages you read aloud in Esperanza Rising in a more understandable language. Note, there is also a mini language dive in Opening B that will help all students dig into the language deeper. The Universal Design for Learning is a great way of thinking about teaching and learning that helps give all students an equal opportunity to succeed. Facilitate increased comprehension by offering opportunities to access prior knowledge and review previous chapters. Provide scaffolding for analyzing metaphors and determining theme. Consider having students provide evidence for themes that other classmates generate. Often, students are more engaged when given choice. Provide alternate note catchers with more support so students can decide what is best for them. Make sure all students understand the words metaphor, interpret, and theme. Possibly create hand motions for the word interpret to have a kinesthetic connection. Add these to the class academic list and the word walls. Theme will be difficult for many students to understand, so focus on this concept. Two ideas are to show titles or photos of familiar stories to determine the theme first. Create an anchor chart with different examples of themes with illustrations or symbols. Metaphors may be challenging, so make sure you focus on that. You may want to work in a small group with students who need a great deal of support. Also, for students who need heavy support, give them a word bank for interpreting what metaphors mean. Create sentence frames on the board for students to copy. If you have drawn a visual of the story structure on an anchor chart, you could cut up the events and chapters and have the students come up to the chart and glue them on where they belong. Keep adding to this for the rest of the novel. Students could even add an illustration on a note card and glue it on. Scaffolding is an instructional method that progressively moves students toward greater independence and understanding during the learning process. Refer to the EL Education Scaffold Overview for grades 2 through 5 for additional resources that may provide further support when planning for and implementing instruction. As a reminder, additional resources and professional learning videos can be found in Learning Central under the appendix within each grade level module and on the teacher planning tools for your grade level curriculum. If you need more assistance with differentiating scaffolding lessons, you may wish to reach out to the experts in your building. The ESL teacher, special ed specialist, intervention team facilitator, or contact the central office coordinating teachers assigned to your school for support.